Pearl Talent Collective is a woman-owned consultant firm that is able to coach your HR team to greatness. With 20 years of experience in HR, you would be hard-pressed to find another consultant firm that is able to produce the results needed for today's work environment. From helping your team maintain their goals, all the way to structuring the groundwork for a successful team for your new company and everything in between. Contact Pearl Collective as your consultant today and let success become the new standard. Welcome to the Intoxication Station. I'm Raymond, filming again with Ryan. Ryan, how you doing?
I'm always doing well, buddy. What's going on?
Oh, not much. Ryan's back again. Did such a great recording last time that I had to have him back on soon. But, oh yeah. No, that was a good episode that we went through and filmed out.
Yeah, like I said, we want to do a tight 30. We did a tight hour and 40.
Yeah. But it was well worth it. It really was. I mean, so on the first recording, we did cover a lot of bases to be able to splinter off onto different subjects later on. Now, one thing I would like to go through and speak a little bit more on is the RNG roulette.
Go ahead.
So, as far as the RNG roulette goes, I am still in the process of working on the rules, I guess, for everyone else to join in on it if they so to choose to do so, listening to the podcast and whatnot. But as far as the participants, I'm pretty sure that one's pretty much nailed down. Because I mean, it was good. It seems like a good concept overall. Now, one thing that I don't think that we got to talk about on the RNG roulette was the mulligans that are in play. So the mulligans were any beverage is included. So if you wanted to do a non-alcoholic version of it, you're more than welcome to. Biggest mulligan would be no off-color topic. So for anyone that does want to join in on the recording later on, there are a couple of rules on what we can and can't talk about, just for sensitivity purposes. Even though I'm not super sensitive, but I know some of the listeners out there may be.
Yeah, I'm pretty far.
Yeah.
I mean, we're Gen X here. We don't really have anything we're offended by.
Right. And more importantly, if any of the guests are participating on the recording side, they do have a 30-second shout out for anything that they could potentially be working on, whether it be business, whether it be a separate project, all in all. And I like to think it's a good way to be able to market yourself without being too intrusive and having the ability to have a good platform to go off of as well, too. Because
what if you don't have anything you're working on, but just want to tote your record on NCAA football?
I mean, that works too. That falls under projects.
Okay, just your future reference. That's all I care about.
All right. Now, would you want to try to do a one-on-one RNG roulette?
Oh God, we can.
All right.
We can open it up. I'd have to get beverages very briefly, but we can absolutely do that.
Oh yeah. So let's go ahead and take a quick stop. Get yourself squared away, because I have my cooler right beside me. It is the best cooler that I could possibly find out of the trash, and it works great. It really does.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do this game with whiskey, so I'll go grab beers.
No, you would be a smart man not to do so. So we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Ryan, ready to go?
Yes. Whenever you are, let's do this.
All right, RNG roulette. Once again, for us, let me go ahead and go over the rules real quick. Each person must start off with 6 12-ounce cans of beverage. I have that.
16. Mine are 16, but I'm willing to roll with it.
Well, I mean, you got to account for evaporation. And since this was spur of the moment, I do have topics at hand. But for anyone that does join in on the RNG roulette later on, each player must contribute 6 topics of discussion and list them 1 through 6 prior to the game, which we've already taken care of that. The sum of all topics will be added to a grand total of 12 topics. So, if we were with multiple people, then we would just divide all those questions into a total of 12, whether it be 3, 4, or just 2 of us. And side beverages are allowed, but don't count towards the actual 6 beverages at hand. Once again, this is Ryan. I'm Raymond. Let's start the show. First question, Ryan.
God, no, don't tell me.
Buddy, it's the one that you came up with, too. Out the gate. Question. Of all your exes, which one would you have to marry, gun to your head?
Outside of ones I've already married.
I mean, we could include those if you wanted to as well.
I mean, technically they've already been married.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, ones that you haven't married. And for discretion, you don't have to mention names. You can list off 1 through however.
How many do you think I've had?
I'm just saying.
Don't answer. Don't answer.
I'm just saying.
So you want me to tell you a number? Like that's going to make sense? Or do you want me to tell you qualities? What is it you want me to tell you?
Let's go ahead and go with qualities then. Well, no, start off with number, then go with quality from there.
Couldn't remember numbers at this point. So let's go with, I'm going to chug my first beer. Out of the gate, I'm 16 ounces lost. This is a question that I don't know why I was stupid enough to be like, hey, here's a good one, thinking I've got a 1 in 40 chance of it not coming up, and out of the gate, it kicked me. It is a great question. There are a lot of regrets I have in the dating aspect, and there's regrets I have been married before, and not always been perfect. I've always tried to be. Every one of the girls I've been with, I was with for a reason. And the ones I married, I still love them. Obviously, one's the mother of my kids. The others have been great in their own ways. And in order to not besmirch their memories, I'm going to go ahead and drink my first beer because this is a conversation we could have for the next 8 hours, and we're on a time crunch. So let's not do it. Yeah. All right. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Doing good. Doing good. Those mountains were blue, too. Look at that. Had to go in for a breather. And getting towards the end. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. It's a fickle one. It's a fickle one.
So wait, you now have to answer that question?
Oh, no, you already chugged. Because I was planning on chugging myself.
See, I should have just been smart and just made up some woman that didn't exist. But I don't think like that.
That's why you got to be quick on your toes when it comes to the RNG roulette. Question number 2. Let's see. Number 29. This is actually a good one. Name a song that resonates best with you.
Is this for you to answer first or for me to answer?
Well, so in all fairness, since you did go through and hammer down a beer, let me go ahead and answer that one first. Then we'll move on to you. So, as far as songs that resonate best with me, God, that
if
is.
If I swipe off of this to look at my Amazon Music, is it going to cut the video feed?
It may. Only one way to find out.
Stand by 2 seconds.
Yeah, it
Am
looks
I
like
still there.
So
I'm just going to pull up my Amazon Music real quick so I have that answer.
Right. Yeah, I'm probably gonna. I would have to say "Night Moves" by Bob Seger.
Ooh.
Absolutely great song. Dare I say, one of my top 5 songs.
And I'm back.
Yeah. I believe that song resonates best with me just because of the melody that goes along with it. Bob Seger's voice. I mean, iconic. Absolutely iconic. You know, between the lyrics of it and whatnot, it's just an all-around great song. I could listen to that for days and days on end and not get tired of it.
I wish I had the same outlook. Well, I can't say it's not all, but like the 3 that seem to always come up for me is first and foremost the greatest metal band of all time, Metallica's Enter Sandman.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I just got my Amazon year in review for Amazon Music, and it was said you're in the top 2% of all people that listen to Metallica. I was like, yeah, it should be number 1. I'll try harder next year. That's always a go-to. Snuff by Slipknot has
That's
always
a good
been
one too.
An anthem, and Scars by Papa Roach has always been a
That's
good one.
That's a good one.
I forget the other one by Papa Roach, but there's another one by them that I started listening to a lot with the edit toward last year because I found it kind of really resonated more.
Last Resort?
No, not Last Resort. It's I don't want to rip the feed by going back to it, but that was another one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Scars. The one I'm thinking about is like that one, but it's not Scars. It's called something else. I can't remember the name of it right now. It's like Michelle going back to it.
Right.
There's a Papa Roach song out there that does that.
No. Which, I didn't realize how long Papa Roach has been out.
Been out for a hot minute, yeah.
Yeah,
For a
they've been
hot
around
minute.
for a while. I also didn't realize that Metallica has been doing their thing since like the '60s.
Maybe 81, 82.
Either I thought it was either '60s or '70s because I know they were the forerunner to heavy metal.
Yeah, I mean, they were teenagers in the early 80s when they started getting into it, but I don't think that well, if they formed, they probably formed late 70s, started getting
Mm-hmm.
popularity in the 80s. But regardless, I'd still pay to go see them. I
Hell
think
yeah.
James Hetfield just turned 60 or 61, still shredding it.
Oh yeah. All right. Question number 3. Now, so once again with RNG, it may repeat numbers again, so I may have to click the generator to get a different number each time.
Because I am not slamming another beer on question number 3.
Oh no, no. If anything, I'll go ahead and take die on that sword for you. All right. Question number 3. You're stuck in a room and you'll be there for at least 3 hours before help arrives. What do you do to occupy your time in there? Note, your phone is dead and you have a slightly wobbled chair.
No windows, no doors, or
No
I just
window,
can't get out of it.
just can't get out of it. Like they're waiting on the
Um,
lock, like they're waiting on the locksmith to come, and the only thing that you can
uh-huh.
do is just sit in there with a slightly wobbly chair, and your phone died right before all of it happened.
Can I have a Coke? Because that sounds like a great way to kill 3 hours of peace and quiet without having my phone ringing and without having to sit there and worry about work or anything else. You may
Yeah.
have just given me a 3 hour nap for all I care. That's
Oh
fine
yeah.
for me.
Especially if it's a nice cool room.
Remind me of going back to the 80s without telling me you want me to go back to the 80s. I don't have a cell phone and no one's going to bother me for 3 hours and all I have to do is use my imagination. Come on.
No. That
That's
so
enough. I'm not going to die. It's 3 hours. If you
no.
said 3 weeks, I might want to like a cheeseburger or something, but no, 3 hours, I can do that standing on my head.
Well, depending on the room that you're stuck in for 3 hours, it may benefit you. Like if it was a padded room or anything.
Like there's nothing like strobe lights and Celine Dion playing. So no,
No.
it's just a quiet, dark room. 3 hours, I can do that, no problem. Let's
Oh
go.
yeah, I'd probably go through and take like a super hardcore nap. 3 hours
I guess
stationary, not
I
doing
joke about
anything.
it. I don't know. Like I'd probably just sit there and either just zone out and my mind would just start thinking the most random shit like it does anytime I try to go to bed. And then my brain's like, hey, what about all these thoughts that you haven't thought of in a while? You start just going down the rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd just be like me trying to fall asleep for 3 hours and not being able to do it. No problem.
Yeah, yeah, that wouldn't be a hard one for me to do in theory, anyways. Now, it may be a little different if I don't know if it was during like World War II and the Nazis are going through and bombing London or something like that. Yeah, that's a little different. But as
I
far
guess the only thing I'd really get to you is without being able to tell how much time passed. Like you,
yeah,
you're constantly thinking, oh, it's been 15 minutes and it's been 8, or it's been 15 minutes and it's been 45. You just don't have a real concept of time if you're in a pitch black room and you just have no ability to look around and figure
mm-hmm.
that out.
Not quite sensory deprivation, but pretty close to it.
Is the room hot?
Nice and cool.
Nice
Nice
and
and
cool?
Yeah, nice and cool. 71 on the thermostat maintains that the entire time.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. That's like sitting in my apartment all day. That's fine.
Yeah,
Let's bring it on. Let's
yeah.
go.
It's more mildly inconvenient that I can't do anything for the next 3 hours, but knowing that I can't do anything for the next 3 hours,
It's like the power went out and they're not going to restore it for 3 hours. You're sitting in your 71-degree place. It's be like, okay, I'm just going to stay here on the floor.
mm-hmm.
I don't want to go anywhere.
The only thing that would probably get me would be the wobbly chair.
No one said you had to sit on the wobbly chair.
Yeah, which is fair. It does not state whether or not you have to sit on the wobbly chair during the wait.
That's right. If it was worded and the only thing you can sit on is a wobbly chair, I'll just sit there and just wobble around for 3 hours to see
Tonk
how
tonk,
many times I
tonk
did
tonk,
go around before
tonk
I
tonk.
falls over. Yeah.
All right. Bit of a lame question, but I had to throw it in there just to keep the game lively. All right. Question number 4.
Okay.
You just won a lifetime supply of blank, other than beer and gas. What would you do with a lifetime supply of?
Diddy lube. 100%. P. Diddy lube.
That's funny.
I only said that to try to get you to laugh, and it didn't work.
That's funny.
A lifetime supply of blank.
A blank.
You said not money and not gas.
Not beer, not gas. Which is
Oh,
pretty much the
not
same
beer,
thing.
not gas?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, everyone's going to say money. If I could get not beer, not gas, A lifetime supply of unconditional world peace.
Depending on where
Okay,
you're
I
at,
don't
that
mean that either.
yeah,
I don't really don't mean that either. The world's
yeah,
far more
because
interesting with chaos.
yeah,
I would say a lifetime supply of ammunition. That shit got expensive.
yes, it did, and it's still pretty expensive for the most part.
I mean, I don't know when the last time you went to the range was, but not being able to buy shit wholesale anymore, dude,
It's
no
different.
thank you. I was spoiled for 23 years. That shit, 308 ammo, 20 round box of hollow points, $46.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure this place around the corner is ripping me off, but no, I'll take their lifetime supply of ammo.
Lifetime supply of ammo. Let's see. Not beer, not gas. What would I do with a lifetime supply of blank? And what would that lifetime supply be? You know what? I would probably do a lifetime supply of tacos. Tacos.
You're gonna get sick of eating tacos after 3 weeks.
Dude, I've been. Okay, let me go ahead and switch it up. Burritos. Because I tell you what, I could eat burritos breakfast, because I got breakfast burritos, lunch,
Mm.
and dinner. It's a perfect food. No mess afterwards, as long as you get one that's built correctly.
And a good cholesterol medication.
Oh yeah, well I mean you got chicken burritos, you got fish burritos, you got. I can go Forrest Gump with the whole shrimp thing, but with burritos if you wanted me to. Just I mean,
Mexican food is one of those things that they have about 12 main ingredients and learn to make those 12 main ingredients 36 different ways.
oh yeah,
It's still chicken, pork, steak, fish, and then cheese, flour tortilla, corn tortilla. You can make a
rice.
burrito, but if you bake it and put sauce on it, now it's an enchilada. Like, it's not
If you
very,
deep fry.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I feel like I could open a Mexican restaurant, but that'd be as crazy as if I could open a Mexican restaurant as a Mexican owning an Irish bar. Just saying.
Ironically enough, that has happened. May have been to a place
You
like
could,
that several times.
once or twice.
So my lifetime, yeah, I'm set on it. Lifetime supply of burritos.
All right. We'll
Yeah,
take that.
yeah, I can go
Enjoy.
ahead. I would be thoroughly pleased over that one.
We can go shooting and you can buy lunch.
Hey, I'm okay with that.
There you go.
Although after going to the range, I do prefer barbecue over anything.
Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. All right. Question number 5. Let's see. You're stuck on an island for 3 months, and
Mm.
you know you'll be off the island at that time, and you have one food to eat the entire time you're on the island for that time frame. What are you choosing?
I can choose. I'm stuck on a desert island, but I can choose what I eat.
Mm-hmm. Just a one,
This goes
just
back
a
to your
one food.
lifetime burrito thing.
Well, I mean, I may have a different answer on that one.
Do I have the ability to cook it? Or is it just sitting there readily available at all times?
Sitting there readily available at all times.
I mean, for 3 months, steak? I'll take a Lipitor when I get home. Who cares?
Oh yeah. Now steak.
Or does it have to be found on the island?
No, no. Just you're stuck for 3 months with that particular.
I will take a Dallas filet from Texas Roadhouse, the 8 ounce cut, medium rare, for 3 months because if I could eat it every day, I would eat it every day.
What's that? That's a good one. That is a good choice.
Thank you.
Let's see. Stuck on a remote island for 3 months, only one food to choose from. For me, outside of the whole burrito thing, I would probably go with a good old fashioned hamburger
Mm.
because you got all the major food groups tied up into one. You got your carbs with a bun. Excuse me. You have your carbs with a bun. You have all your vegetables, lettuce, tomato, onion, and you have your protein with the burger itself. Not to mention calcium with the cheese, and of course you got to have bacon on it as well too. So bacon cheeseburger
Yeah, definitely goes to your primary healthcare person when you get home after eating bacon cheeseburgers every day for 3 months.
for 3 months. Yeah, as long as it's not with a United Health Group. Let's be fair. No one gave a shit that someone shot him.
His family, his kids,
Maybe.
maybe.
So
SNL gave a shit.
did they?
You didn't hear about that?
No, I haven't seen the
SNL
skit.
on the weekend update did something that got major backlash over it because people are basically like too soon. But yeah, that's it ain't right. But you know what's funny is as soon as it happened, everyone else that ran those same type of businesses were like, we could probably tighten security around this.
Oh yeah, between security, like to be a private contractor right now doing security and whatnot, holy shit. You would be making all the money right now with it. People just throwing just
Yeah,
numbers at you.
I just got a 6-figure deal from Advent Health. Stand outside in a suit carrying a Glock. No
For
one's
a
gonna
week.
know. Yeah, they pulled me off my church duty.
Yeah. Which I was just donating my time on that one. Hell, they were offering me six
Yeah,
figures a week to stand outside this building. They
yeah,
didn't tell me I
yeah.
had to
It's
do anything.
the synagogue paid me $25 an hour. This place paid me $100,000 for 3 weeks. I'm taking that one.
Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
Jehovah told me to.
Just hold up. All right. Question number 6. Yeah, question number 6.
Okay.
All right. This is a pretty decent one. Nice, short, simple, sweet. Favorite actor or actress? Who you choosing?
Oh God, actor or actress?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you right now, there are a few people in the entertainment industry I'd actually mourn when they pass away. And I have a list because they're my childhood. But I'm gonna go immediately with Harrison Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Harrison Ford when I was born, circa 78, I grew up in the Star Wars, Indiana Jones, get off my plane generation. And I can't imagine growing up, without watching those movies. I mean, Han Solo, Indiana Jones. I was talking about this with people not that long ago either. And hands down, Harrison Ford, he plays the same character in every movie. Just the average guy gets the shit kicked out of him for a few scenes and then comes back and somehow miraculously wins. But I mean, he's played a little bit of everything. He's going to be Red Hulk next year, for Christ's sake. The
Mm-hmm.
man's 81 years old. He's going to play Red Hulk. Let's go. I mean, get it. It's CG. But you couldn't imagine not. We almost had a Tom Selleck Indiana Jones. Thank God for Magnum PI because
Right.
Harrison Ford is that character. Granted, the next Indiana Jones they make is going to be Indiana Jones and the Shady Acres Rest Home. But at the same point, you would never imagine anyone else doing that. Even when they're talking about Chris Pratt reprising it and rebooting it. No, he didn't even want to do it. Hands down for me, Harrison Ford.
Oh, yeah. Now, Harrison Ford's a good pick. I would have to go with tried and true Robin Williams. Because the thing with Robin Williams, he's been there for my entire childhood, going into adulthood. So, little backstory on myself. I have a sister. Her name's Mindy. And whenever my parents found out that they were going to be having me, they wanted the receipt. But also, my aunt, my mom's sister, wanted to name me Mork. Mork and Mindy.
They
Any,
missed so many great lines after that. Come
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Can we petition to have it redone?
No. Nah. I'm keeping
Okay,
my name.
question for you. For $30,000, would you change your name to Mork for 1 year?
That's a lot of paperwork that I would have to change.
Not really. I've got ex-wives that did it in like a week and a half. Come on. You can do it for a year.
For a year. Oh, God. I wouldn't show myself in public.
You come on. Get a driver's license, show it to people. Half the generations out there right now wouldn't even understand the reference. What are you
But
worried about?
but the
His
one
kid's name their kid's name Apple, for
yeah.
fuck's sake. You can name yourself Mork for a year. It's
Yeah.
30 G's.
I don't know. It would depend on who has the money and if I could see it up front. Because that would be a cash only, no taxes taken out kind of deal.
Obviously. Obviously.
Yeah. But no, I'm going.
Someone shows up with a suitcase at $30,000, your ass isn't counting it. You're like, okay, where do you want me to sign? Do I have to get on my knees? No? Okay. Really? I don't? I'll take it. Because I thought I was going to have to do something with Diddy Loop. This is going to be a lot easier. All I have to do is change my name and nothing's going to hurt in the morning?
For a
Yes,
year?
sign me up.
Eh,
1 year.
I don't know. I would have to have the money in front of me in order to.
You can say, hey, my name's Mork. My friends call me Ray. Who cares?
Now, what could it be? Raymond the Mork
Ray Mork.
Holmes? Ray Mork.
Ray Mork Holmes.
At that point, I would probably just stick with Mork.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mork Holmes.
Mork.
It sounds like a punter. The Kansas City Chiefs. And out comes Mork Holmes to try the extra point.
Oh, I was thinking more on the lines of like the Cincinnati Bengals or something.
Yeah. No, let's not talk about them. I just watched that Simpsons telecast at the Cowboys game last night, and that was pretty rough. If you haven't seen it, don't waste your time. It was pretty bad. If I want to see Nintendo 64 graphics in 2024, I can just go back and play Nintendo 64.
Right. All right. Number 7. This is a good one. If you could pick a time in history to travel to, when and why?
Who's going for?
I'll go. I would go back to At any point in history, I would probably do 1775.
But where?
13 original colonies. I want to see how that shit
Very
went
nice.
down.
You want to ask George if those are really ivory teeth, don't you? Or if they're
Either
truly made from
ivory or
slaves.
wood. Like, Mr. Washington, future founder of the United States.
You
What are
can't tell
those?
him. The butterfly effect.
What?
He
Okay,
didn't
so,
found the United States. He wasn't a founder. He was the first general that he's like, no, I don't want to be king. I'll be a president.
yeah. He went with that over anything else. God bless that man.
I would go back, and this is something that I always enjoyed in my middle-aged ass has been reading a lot of actual books on lately. But I would go back to Tombstone in 1881, and I would walk the streets with Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp because that's there. Contrary to popular belief, there weren't as many gunfights as people think. Like people walking out the street and having duels at high noon. But
Hmm.
gunfights like that did happen fairly regularly, especially in Tombstone and Deadwood and places like that. But I would 100%. I don't want to mess with anything. I just want to be like, after the fact, like, Doc, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, just a
Wyatt, are you all
bystander
right?
out there.
Hey Morgan, don't play cool on this night because someone's going to snipe you through the window. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, I would go back to that time because I kind of want to have a drink with Doc and watch him play poker for 28 hours straight
Hmm.
while fighting tuberculosis. That guy was a badass.
TV's nothing to me, is what he said.
Yeah. I also want to find out if her name Big Nose Kate had anything to do with her nose. If it was just something that she was just hideously ugly.
All right. Question number 8. Okay, this is a pretty decent one, too. What is more annoying? Hearing a faint buzz while driving down the road and you can't figure out where it's coming from, or showing up to an appointment at the wrong date?
Mm.
Meaning, you have an appointment set for Friday, you're dead set that you're going to be going there on Friday this week, but it ends up being next Friday that you needed to go to.
So
Mm-hmm. Eh, I don't. So, being that I'm on the road so much, I would probably have to lean more towards the faint buzz that you can't pinpoint where it's coming from exactly. Because that is beyond annoying. Like loose change in the cup holder, a plastic panel not quite seating properly. And it's
mm,
just, or that high pitched jingle sound. Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure it happens to me all the time. I just don't pay attention to it because I'm too annoyed that my ears won't stop ringing for the last 15 years.
just sounds like someone has a phone off the dial or off the hook.
Uh,
Yeah, that. Uh,
do I
I'm
have to
gonna.
take time off of work to go to this appointment that was in the
Yes,
wrong date?
yes. That's where it becomes more of a pain in the ass than anything.
Yeah, I mean, but I'd still enjoy time away from the asylum. Yeah, I'm still gonna go. I'd still go with the appointment thing.
Missing an appointment. So
Yeah.
yeah, that ultimately that would depend on what you do for a living. Like if you have to schedule in, take a time off for work or whatnot. Considering what I do, I have such an open schedule to do whatever I want, whenever I want to. So that wouldn't be a big hassle for me in this current line of work. Now, with my previous line of work where I would travel throughout the United States to different places and whatnot, and having to go back home for an appointment, only to find out that I scheduled for the wrong day, that
Hmm.
that would be a gigantic pain in the ass.
True. True. I
So,
almost said something, but I'm not gonna say it because I'm gonna keep it as PG as possible. But I have a line of work that I'd really be pissed off if I missed a day,
mhm.
and I'm not good. I will chug a beer before I mention it.
All right. Question number 8. If you had to choose to break a bone in your body, which one and why? And you can't answer with none of them. With none of them, meaning that you have to pick at least one bone.
One bone. I mean, I've broken several. I'm going to go with to be the most inconvenient. There really is an inconvenient bone to break in your body on purpose because you don't realize how much you use them until it breaks. But when I shattered my collarbone, that sucked,
Oh yeah.
but it didn't hurt as much as the 9 ribs front and back that
Uh,
happened simultaneous.
dude, ribs would suck because there's you can't do anything with the ribs.
Yeah, you can lay still. That's all you can do.
Hope to God that you don't have to sneeze or cough.
Did that, rebroke one. I'm gonna go with just because I'm stubborn and I can grind through it. I'd say big toe.
Big toe?
because they'll put you in a boot, and if I can just sit down with my leg up for a couple of weeks and just not have to do anything, I'd be fine with it. Because I still need my hands. I need to eat. I need to do other things. But if I can say, hey guys, I have to take 2 weeks off or 3 weeks off because I stubbed and broke my toe. Yeah, they might laugh at me, but I've got enough time with the books to be like, yeah, but I can take 3 weeks off and sit on my couch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go with big toe.
Which foot? Left foot or right
Mm,
foot?
your choice. I'll
So,
let you decide which toe I break.
so if I was
It's got to be
choosing,
big toe. It's got to be big toe because the little
Mhm.
toes hurt worse than the big toe.
Oh yeah. So if I had it between either left toe or right toe, big toe, I would probably pick the left toe. Just because, I mean, I'm sure you drive an automatic vehicle. I drive an automatic vehicle. With the left toe being broke, it's not really doing anything. Whereas the right toe, I use my right toe more to drive than anything else, just because I got fucking gunboat for shoes. It's just easier for me to just use my big toe to press the accelerator compared to my left toe that's just chilling there. Like, I'm pretty sure I could lose below half my thigh down on my left leg and I wouldn't miss it after about 6 weeks or anything. Like, it's just there for symmetry at this point. So, if I were to break a bone and I had to choose a bone, I would pick one of the ear bones. All right? Specifically the staple, Stapel, or ES.
Someone's looking at Google right now.
Oh no! So I knew it was going to be ear bone whenever I first wrote up these questions. I just didn't realize which one. But the STAPS, Stapes, attaches to the oval window, which connects to the middle of the inner ear. Of all the
You know,
bones to
you're gonna
break,
play you're gonna play this game one day and ask that question. Some depressed fuck's gonna be like, my neck, just to end it.
and we laugh now, but it probably will come up at some point or another.
God, he'll be like, no, I don't need to chug a beer. I know which one.
That would be,
My ex is just dragging me through a 2.5 year divorce, and I've lost 2 houses, 3 vehicles, and my 5 kids. I'm done.
and ultimately she wanted the dog in the process, and that's where I just draw the line.
The dog is always the reason you're like, no, I can handle all the rest, but you're not taking my dog. But
Oh
she
yeah.
knows it's the one thing you still hold on to.
All right, number 9. Number 9. You've been given an unlimited budget for your dream car,
Hmm.
but you have to pay
Hmm.
the sales tax and registration on it. What are you choosing?
I really miss having a Diamondback bicycle when I was in the 80s, so I'm pretty sure I can handle that. Oh, God, an unlimited budget to buy the dream vehicle of your choice, but you
But
have to pay the taxes and registration.
yeah.
I can finance it, right?
Well, so that's the thing. You have an unlimited budget on the vehicle, whether it be $1 or $1 billion. But
So I'm gonna include in that budget the taxes and registration for it.
can't do that.
Because the registration's only a couple $100.
Well, so we're talking Oprah rules at this point. Remember
Hmm.
whenever she gave out everybody cars?
Yeah.
But the
Reach under your
stipulation,
seat. You get a Batmobile, and you get a Batmobile. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So the whole like debacle
Mm.
with that was the fact that she gave everyone a vehicle, but they had to pay the sales tax and registration on it. This is where this question actually stems back from.
Yeah, Oprah watchers don't have Oprah money,
No.
so I'm sure there's a lot of unclaimed vehicles.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna bet on myself and say that I could probably at some point afford that and go with my dream vehicle that has to have no basis in reality, or does it have to be reality based?
Whatever you're able to pay the taxes and registration on.
Currently, or in my future self that wins the lottery?
Let's go ahead and go with current self, just to make it
Oh, current
interesting.
self?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Diamondback bicycle. Final answer.
So if I had to choose my dream vehicle, but I had to pay the registration and the taxes on it, 1968 Chevrolet Chevelle SS, candy apple red, black racing stripes.
Nice. Now, are we talking about prices of the era or like current market value?
So the market value or current prices are irrelevant at this point because you have the
You have all the
budget.
money in the world.
Yeah, you have all the budget for it.
It reflects on how much in sales tax you have to pay.
Right. It reflects on sales tax, but registration on a classic vehicle is next to nothing.
That's true. I guess it washes out. You
Yeah.
know what? If in all seriousness, if I were to get something that I was like, I've always wanted that, it would be like a 1986 Jeep Wrangler.
Well, like a
Don't
scrambler?
ask me why. Just like I've always liked that. I've always liked Jeeps. I'm that guy, but I can't get past the 16 miles per gallon. But I mean, if all I'm paying is sales tax and like an 85 Jeep Wrangler, I could spend that. I
Hmm.
mean, it's not like the car I got now. I mean, I was having trucks, but you know what? If I was going to do something that just screamed like, you know what? This is just my weekend Rambler, I could probably do that. Nice blacked out, Wrangler. You take the doors off. It's got the soft top. You can roll it
Hmm.
down. You can,
Well, that was back when a Jeep was a Jeep.
yeah, that's why I'm going with that era. Because you look at
Hmm.
them now, there's too much electronics. I'd like to get something that's not always GPS. Can like we can see everything you're doing, and here's your trips today. No, I don't want that. I just want something that's a car. You turn it on, and you can go places.
Yeah, where the
And I
only
think that's
electronics
fun.
are the headlights and the starter to be able to start it up. Everything's so mechanical on that era. 86 would be a good year for a Jeep. Like, I'm not a huge Jeep person just because of what the market dictates now.
Yeah, but
Like,
as
they're,
you said, budget's no issue. And I think you can probably find an '86 Jeep for under 10 grand. For some reason, they still hold their value.
well, because they're a Jeep,
Yeah,
especially from that era. I mean, in the same way that, like, a 94 through 98 Toyota Land Cruiser are going for damn near retail from back then nowadays. And that's with like close to 300,000 miles on them because they just don't break, and that's what those Jeeps of that era don't do. They don't break. And if they do break, you can find parts anywhere for them for next to nothing.
or you can find a guy in a trailer park that has a part in his house
Oh yeah.
next to his Firebird
Or
and
El
his Def
Camino.
Leppard T-shirt.
Or
His
El
Def
Camino.
Leppard T-shirt. Well, you joke, but those are still a thing here in Texas. Talk about a car that needs to come back out.
They kind of have, but not by Chevrolet.
Heard. I've heard, but no, well, it's like you can buy a DeLorean now too, but you got to wait a year and a half. It's not the
Well,
same thing.
so with the DeLoreans, they're all brand new parts from when DeLorean was a company
Hmm.
originally. And so it's not like that you're buying a bunch of remanufactured stuff. It's all OEM stuff that you're buying for them to go through and build up the new vehicle and whatnot. It's just everything's all a la carte in the United States, not like it was back then, being built all in Ireland.
That
But
documentary on DeLorean was insane.
so
I
much
mean,
cocaine with him.
he's just, but yeah, I
So
mean,
much.
and that wasn't even what did him in. It was the other car manufacturers sitting there pointing fingers at him saying, no, that was right by the speaker, very under the microphone, very
Oh,
nice,
yeah. Very
very
crispy.
nice. I would unscrewed my cap in front of mine, but it just wouldn't have had the same prowess as you just did, sir.
No, that's probably going to be a good sound clip for starting off these games.
A
But
ringtone.
only in church. Only in church, because that would be like the best place to have just an obscure ringtone of someone cracking open a beer. And not just
Yeah.
any church, like in a what do a cathedral? The Catholic religion? It's not a church, it's a cathedral, isn't it?
Sure.
Works for me. All right, number what are we on? 10? Yep, question
Yeah.
number 10. I already had that one. This is a good one. Potentially, depending on the crowd, could be a huge fight. A favorite pizza
Mm.
topping?
Pepperoni.
Yeah, can't go. But so, depending on the pizza place that you go to, because I'm with you with the whole pepperoni thing. Just regular pepperoni or the little cup pepperonis that they have now, where they
See,
shrivel up and
that's
they
what
turn into
starts the
cups?
fight. That's what starts the fight. I don't care because if I order a pepperoni pizza and they give me that versus the other, that's on me
Mm-hmm.
because I clearly didn't read the menu. But I can tell you there's not a really, you're not going to start a fight over what's your favorite pizza topping. It's what's the worst pizza topping is where the fight starts. Because you're going to get the people that want to put anchovies or, God forbid, pineapple or some vegan thing on it. I've seen pizzas here locally that are topped with different types of mushrooms to make them feel like meats because they're a vegan place. And I walked immediately out because that's not pizza. And I went immediately to Arby's because Arby's has the meats. So
It's funny that you mentioned that. I had Arby's earlier today, and they do beef and cheddar all the way when it comes to Arby's.
they still
Yeah.
have deep fried turkey signs outside the one here.
Do they? I yeah, pepperoni. Either pepperoni or meat lovers. That way you get all the protein.
What's the worst pizza topping?
Anchovies.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick hard on that one. Even though I don't
Yeah.
like pineapple, I definitely don't want to have little fish.
So I'm okay with the whole pineapple pizza debate. Only because I'm a petite 315, 320 pounds. So like I'm not picky whenever it comes to eating stuff, but the smell of anchovies on a pizza, like who in their right mind thinks that's a good idea?
It smells like a Bolivian brothel. I don't want to have that stuff anywhere near me.
No, like why? There's not a scenario that I could possibly think of that indicates that having hot little canned fish on a pizza equals a good time. Like that's got to be a
That was
generational thing.
that was the last thing left in the cabinet on a drunken evening when you're like, we just need to throw together a pizza to sober up, and that's all they had. And somehow it caught on.
Just like I've had sardines before on a cracker with mustard. Not the best point in my life, but I was hungry, and I mean, like survival food, I get it. Like anchovies will last forever, but sardines on pizza, I mean, ew.
Spam and ketchup.
Depends on how it's cooked.
No cooking.
Raw spam out the can with ketchup.
I'm going to let you have bacon spam.
You know what? I wouldn't want to sully bacon like that. I'd probably stick with just OG spam out of a can, cold on a saltine cracker.
Mm.
I would rather have that than sardines again.
Okay. I'm going to give that to you.
More the fish than anything else. Because, once again, a little bit of backstory on me. I'm Hawaiian ish. And
Really?
yeah, just a little bit.
And
And
you're part Ethiopian.
I won that battle, if that be the case. So, over in Hawaii, you can actually go to a McDonald's for breakfast, mind you, and order spam, eggs, and rice with freshly cut pineapple that goes along with it for breakfast. You can do Portuguese sausage, eggs, and rice too.
Spam is ridiculously popular in Hawaii, and I did not know that until a few years ago. And
Oh,
they
yeah.
were like, no, spam is huge. I'm like, okay.
Teriyaki sauce goes a long way with spam. That's all I gotta
Yeah.
say.
I'm going to, yeah, you know what? You made me want to try that.
Yeah. It has to be cooked right. So, over in
The only
Hawaii,
appropriate way to cook spam is on your stove and fry it.
do that with teriyaki sauce. Same butter, same everything, but with teriyaki sauce.
Yeah.
Brother, I promise you it's a game changer.
That's like as that's almost like the Hawaiian equivalent as the white trash noodle fried bologna sandwich.
Oh, but so much tastier. So
I
much.
don't
Because you
know.
have the salty, the sweetness, a little bit of this, a little bit of
All right,
that.
here's what we're doing next time we get together. I'm gonna make you a fried bologna sandwich. You're gonna make me a fried spam sandwich, and we're gonna compare notes.
I'm okay with that. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, right. Someone's making you a meal. We have to do it on here so everyone can get live eating
Mm-hmm.
and immediate reaction. Some of the most white trash things you can possibly do.
Hey, it's all part of the
Like
Intoxication Station.
like mixing ketchup with mac and cheese. Not Kraft mac and cheese, just store brand mac and cheese, like Dollar General mac and cheese.
I don't know. Some of that stuff has enough chemicals in it to preserve you, but it hits different.
It does hit you different, that is
It
true.
does hit you different, like in the blood pressure.
And you're gonna wash it down with a black label beer.
Oh my god. Do you hear that?
Or I'll let you pick the finest box of Boone's Farm at 7-Eleven.
Nah, black label beer. Black label beer. No way I'm doing Boone's Farm again.
Oh God, that was the best $1.36 you could ever spend when you were 21.
The problem
You
was,
wake up hating yourself, but Boone's Farm was a staple on every Friday night in 2000.
yeah, that was before Four Locos too.
Yeah, thank God I didn't get in the mix with that shit.
Yeah, that was a bad time. So even to this day, I've never had Four Locos, but there was another one at the time called Sparks.
I remember that. I never had. I remember that for myself, Four Locos.
Yeah, so think of green alcohol and Red Bull if you got the Walmart branded. No, Kmart branded Red Bull.
Blue Light Special Red Bull?
Yeah.
Mm.
It was, I had 3 of those, and just the aftermath afterwards was not good. Like, I never really got buzzed off of them, but with some people, you do have some tummy troubles the next day from ingesting too much beer, and that was exactly that.
I have tummy troubles when I eat spicy food. I can't even imagine what that does to you anymore.
Oh, okay, so here's this. Think of eating spicy food after effects without eating spicy food to begin with.
Yeah, I picked up what you were putting down already. Mm-hmm. I just didn't want to go down that road orally with you.
Too much. All right, and number 12. Once again for number 12.
We're already hitting randoms.
Yeah. So, you're being chased by a duck. You have no idea why, and you don't know what the outcome is if it touches you. What's the best outcome, and what's the worst outcome? So
I can answer that question honestly with you, Raymond, because it's happened to me at Lake Eola Park in downtown Orlando. It wasn't a duck, it was a swan, and I didn't do anything to trick a swan. I was sitting on a bench. It was 11:30 at night. I was trying to sober up, and this thing came out of the water, out of nowhere. It was camouflaged by the swan boats, and I thought it was just one of them. And it came out of the bushes and just ran at me with its wings flailed out. I stood up in a defensive position and just didn't know what to do because they're all tracked and they're all protected. So I couldn't just punch this thing. I had to retreat. And you know how demasculating it is as a man to have to back up from a 2-foot tall bird?
Well, that's 2-foot neck.
Well, it's got that neck, yeah, but it appeared larger, especially when you're not ready for it. It's half dark, it's very not poorly lit, and you're trying to sober up to drive home, and it just comes out of nowhere like, hey, motherfucker, this is my shit. What's up? You want to go? And I'm like, I don't have a beef with you, Swan. Please leave me alone, because if I walk backwards, I'll fall. I'm not seeing things clearly right now. My world is spinning. But it didn't care. I tried talking to it, didn't give a fuck. It chased me for about 50 feet. And I will tell you, the best possible scenario was it just said, haha, bitch, got you, and walked away. That's not what happened, Raymond. That's not what happened at all. It chased me across the street backwards, and I didn't look for traffic. And I tripped over a curb. Yes, a curb. And it hurt. But I didn't feel it until the next day, because the only thing I was concerned about was my emotional stability. Being chased by a bird, I can't punch and I can't kick because I would be arrested by Orlando police for kicking a swan that chased me 50 feet off a park bench. And that hurt. That still hurts me this day. I don't like swans. It was a white swan. It wasn't a black swan. Don't make color part of this. It was a white swan. It was white on white crime, and I'm still mad about it to this day.
The emotional distraughtness of that. I get it. So, once again, for my international audience, because there's so much to unpack off of this one. So, with my international audience, over in downtown Orlando, we have Lake Eola. Now, Lake Eola is a beautiful place to go to now because of all the different statues that they have around the lake. They have a play set around there, and there's an entire sidewalk that goes all the way around Lake Eola. Beautiful place to go to during the daytime. Well, back in ye olde times, there was a lot of unsavory things and acts that happened over there before they started adding in all the streetlights and whatnot, but it was a good place to sober up. Well,
it wasn't more about the cameras than the streetlights, but yes, continue.
So, at Lake Eola, it's known for all the swans that are over there. I don't know where they came from. I have no idea why there's such a fixture over there, but they are. And as Ryan mentioned, they are a protected species for around Lake Eola. Why, I have no idea. Swans, out of my experience, are the biggest assholes that you could possibly come across.
They're basically the wasps of the bird variety.
Yeah, the avian.
They're just assholes. Yeah, the avian variety.
Yeah, the avian variety. Because you can't eat them legally. You can't defend yourself against them, as Ryan dictated in his story. So it's a lose-lose battle, as he said. It is an absolute lose-lose battle either way that you go with it. So to say that being chased by a swan sucks, that's top tier, one of the worst things that you could be.
You can't defend yourself.
No.
And if you do, everyone around you is like, why are you hitting that defenseless animal?
Yeah, why are you kicking a swan?
Those of us who've been chased by a swan are like, yeah, fucking get him. and they're not gonna turn you over. But there's so many PETA people out there like you can't kick that swan. Look, I kicked it out of the last resort. I did 49 out of 50 feet. I'm about to go into a street full of traffic, and I didn't even look. Thank God no one actually was there because it was dead at night and no one was on that street.
Mm-hmm.
But I could have been seriously injured. And what am I going to tell the doctor? How did this happen? I was retreating from a swan. And he'd go, no, seriously, what happened? No, seriously, I was retreating from a swan to Lake Eola. You didn't hit it, did you? You better not have hit that swan.
That would have been
We're
the
going to
only.
have some people that we have some people outside with badges on that want to discuss something with you as soon as you reset your shoulder into your socket.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and put you in this body cast, and then we'll put handcuffs on you for hitting such a defenseless animal. Yeah. So those are the people that have never been chased by a swan before, and it shows.
Look, fuck swans. Fuck the swans at Lake Eola. If they bite you, you should be able to retaliate with any means necessary to defend yourself and your honor.
Mm-hmm.
Because thank God that was before street cams, because I'm sure that shit would have been posted on fucking YouTube.
Easy. Quick. So quick. Let's see. We were on 11. Okay, so as far as what I would do if I was being chased by a duck, and let's see, whatever that question.
You're not reading your answers to all these, are you?
No, so I don't have answers for any of these questions. They're all just questions. I'm just going through and reviewing on that because, I mean, let's face it, the swan topic is real for those that have been chased by swans before. I haven't been chased by a swan in Orlando, but when I was working up in Rochester, Minnesota, and yes, there is a Rochester, Minnesota, home of the Mayo Clinic, and what used to be IBM headquarters, but I was working up there mid to late fall one year, and there were still swans up there, and in the line of work that I was doing, we would be in some pretty country-ass places, and I seen swan in the body of water that was next to me, probably easy 200-300 feet away from me, easy. And these assholes thought it was a good idea to go through and just come over towards me. Like, oh, cool, I have animals coming to me. I guess I'm Snow White at this point.
I was going to say, like a Disney princess. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
that.
like a Disney princess. And no, these motherfuckers started chasing me. Now, I am not the most athletic individual that you'll ever come across, but I can put distance between the protagonist and myself, if need be. I'm sure whoever's seen that on the roadway, because I was right by an interstate too, I'm sure whoever's seen that on the roadway probably wrecked later on that night. Just thinking about some fat guy being chased by a swan. The giraffe duck looking ass motherfuckers.
Look, all I'm saying is, if that happened in a less public place than me, the story would have had a far more tragic ending for that swan.
Oh yeah.
Because I would have handled my business.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in a lose-lose situation, and it happened the way it happened. And I'm not proud of it. I've probably been more proud of the other way of handling it, albeit probably wouldn't be discussing it right now. I know what the statute of limitations are on duck murder or swan murder. I would have made an example. They would have made way the next time I went to Lake Eola. That's all I'm saying.
Fuckers. So yeah, fuck swans. Fuck swans. Ducks, on the other hand.
Ducks are adorable. The ducks, they have tons of ducks there. Never had a problem with a duck there.
No.
The swans.
They're adorable. Yeah, fuck the swans. They're the fucking giraffe neck ass motherfuckers. I
couldn't even go see that movie Black Swan because I had PTSD.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it had nothing to do with swans either. But it was.
It doesn't.
Couldn't do it out of principle.
It doesn't have anything to do with swans.
No, it's all about ballet.
I wouldn't have seen it anyway then. So never mind. I recant my previous statement.
So you say that, but have you ever seen Les Miserables?
No.
That is a musical with Wolverine himself in it, and he does an amazing job.
He might. I've also heard of The Greatest Showman, where he does the same thing. The only musical I've ever enjoyed or been a part of was the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Reasonably so. That's a good one. So I got a buddy. His dad loves Halloween, but my buddy loves Christmas. So the compromise that they have together when it comes to Christmas decorations is his dad will always do a Nightmare Before Christmas theme every year for Halloween. And in his HOA's rules, you have to take down your Halloween decorations before the Christmas holiday, but you can put up Christmas decorations the day after Halloween. So all he does, and this is ingenious, is he puts Santa hats on all the on all the Halloween decorations every year. He's been doing
Well
it for
played, sir.
like close to 20 years now.
If
Hilarious.
I had the ability to do that here, I'd do it. But I'm the I don't like seeing Christmas decorations up before Thanksgiving. But I'm also the asshole that starts buying Halloween decorations like August 20th and starts getting ready to put them up in September. So I
Mhm.
understand.
Like game recognized game on that one.
100%. No, he's got my respect.
Mm-hmm. And we've went through Russian roulette or the RNG roulette.
That was fast.
Was pretty good. Little over a total of an hour record time. I enjoyed it. That was a fun one. And for Baker's Dozen, let's do another one. Have we? This is a good one. Yeah, this is a good one. So,
Okay.
for the full Baker's Dozen, if you could go back in time and watch any concert live, who would it be?
Any concert.
Any concert at any time.
Dude, I'm boring when it comes to this shit because I have a very small amount of music catalog I actually enjoy. So I'm gonna like if you've been paying attention at all throughout this last hour, whatever we've been doing, I'm a Metallica guy. I would go back to the so Jim Brewer, the comedian, once did this bit about when he was going to go see Ozzy Osbourne, and he went to go see Ozzy, and that was the headliner back in the '80s. But they had this small band of kids named Metallica that was going to open for him, and no one knew who the hell they were. So he's sitting there watching it, and then these kids from Metallica come out there and they all start playing. And I don't remember the bit wholly, and I don't want to quote the whole thing because it's Jim Brewer's stuff. But he's like, we're standing there, me and my buddies, and all these kids came running past us to run up to the front. We're like, who are the hell are these kids? We're going to die. And then Metallica gets out there and they start doing their thing, and everyone starts moshing, and they just hit the place just like, there's a war about to break out. Like, and everyone's, it's like, what the hell's going on? I would go to that concert
Oh yeah.
just to see Metallica before they blew up, just to see the energy they created. I would go do that one. And then just watch Ozzy have to follow that shit and have him realize, I think our days are over. I'm gonna have to bite heads off larger animals now.
I'm still surprised that Ozzy's still married after all these years.
I thought
Sharon!
they got I thought Sharon divorced him, but still loves him.
We shall see.
I'm pretty sure he had an affair with a hairdresser or something like that, and then she divorced him. I might be wrong, but I want to say this is like 7 years ago.
Okay. So on the searches, Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne are a couple who have been friends, lovers, and family for over 50 years. They were introduced back in 1970 by her father. Let's see. When her father, Don Adrian, worked for Black Sabbath. And let's see, they were married in Hawaii back in 1982. Yada, yada,
Blah,
yada.
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. So, 50 years. God, 50 years. Like,
Does
I
it
have.
say anything about divorce?
No,
I'm pretty sure.
no, not a single
Okay,
thing
this is
about
the
divorce.
Mandela effect because I 100% remember hearing and reading and seeing stories that they were getting divorced over his alleged marital extra affairs, which, as a rocker, happened all the time.
Yeah.
But she just got pissed off over some hairdresser. I may be wrong, but I do remember seeing something along those lines.
No, it wouldn't. I mean, that's just a quick search on the whole Googles and such. But I wouldn't put it past it. Let's see. Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne are not divorced.
Okay, I admit that I was wrong. I
And
distinctly remember seeing it.
and in fact celebrated their 40th wedding anniversary July 2022.
That would track with being married in '82.
But damn, because that's one crazy son of a bitch. Like, you could tell by looking at him, he did a lot of drugs back in the day.
Yeah, duh. The
Like,
70s and 80s as a rock star.
which leaves off on this note for the people that were alive back then that went to these concerts and whatnot. They're starting to get up in those years to where they have to consider doing retirement and whatnot, and go to retirement homes where they will be playing Black Sabbath on the speakers in the hallways and whatnot, because that's period correct to their time. Along with AC,
I mean,
along with
they say that your catalog of music that you typically listen to encompasses your high school and college years. So once you get out of college and high school, those are the songs that you typically continue listening to, or the bands you continue listening to. Or at
Mm-hmm.
least I've read that before. And I go back and I think about it. I'm like, that's not true. And I look at my, again, my Amazon music thing that came up. It's like, your favorite genre is the 90s. I was like, son of a bitch. They're right. Because I don't listen to any of the shit that comes out now. Everything now is soft and whiny, and I want something heavy that's gotta get something to say, and I can't listen to shit that's out there now. Post Malone, he's got some cool stuff, but it's not my thing. Jelly
So,
Roll, it looks like you with face tattoos out there singing country music. I'm like, I'm so messed up I can't see this shit.
so the thing with Jelly Roll, I understand where he's come from. I understand what he's went through, why he became an artist. I can understand all that.
He was incarcerated in the state of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
When he was at the Cowboy halftime show on Thanksgiving, his necklace had a big key on it, and that's a TD or not. It's a prison key, is what that is.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's crazy. How do I get one like that encrusted in gold and diamonds?
Go platinum.
Several times, apparently.
Yeah. Like, the thing with Jelly Roll, I know where he comes from. Like, I understand all that. I genuinely think that his stuff's overhyped for what it is.
Not very good, my opinion.
It's not that it's not very good. Like, he does have Fast Car. That's probably one of my favorite songs that he's done. Take that back. Wrong one. That was Luke Bryan.
I was going to say, that didn't sound like a Jelly Roll song, but I wasn't about to correct you on your show.
No, that wasn't Luke Bryan either.
I don't know. I just don't think it's a Jelly Roll song. I don't think he's that clever.
No. So this is gonna Luke Combs.
Or one of the Luke.
Yeah. What? There's so many goddamn Lukes in country anymore. It's like they popped up out of nowhere. But the thing with Jelly Roll, like, I get it. He breaks the mold of being the sexy country artist or whatnot. He's just a fat dude making millions and whatnot off of music. I honestly think that he's overhyped. And that's coming from a fat dude.
Yeah, but I mean, gun to your head, I want to say more chicks are into you than Jelly Roll if they didn't know your bank account.
Yeah, I don't know. But one thing that I believe you and I could agree on, Post
You
Malone,
have a better voice. You have a better voice than Jelly Roll.
you can tell that he's, I don't know. I gotta look at a picture of Jelly Roll real quick, just because every time I think of him, I think of like Trailer Parks, Marlboro Reds, and like Natty Ice just sitting around.
I think about a guy you're picking heroin up.
You wouldn't be too far off from that one.
He obviously doesn't imbibe on his own supply.
No, I mean, once again, good for him, especially his wife. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, here's something that's a little on the not expecting that. So Jelly Roll, the person that we've been talking about, his full name is Jason Bradley DeFord.
Yeah, I can see why he went with Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
DeFord. Listen, Jason.
So if he didn't have the did before DeFord, that would be the most American name out there. Like, Jason Bradley, and he's named after a car company too? Holy shit. Blue Oval at that? Shit.
Listen, Jason DeFord. Why don't you take your music and go away? No, they call me Jelly Roll. Sit down. We have a contract for you.
Mr. DeFord, can I get your autograph?
I guess the name Butterball was already taken.
Butterball.
He looks like Post Malone if Post Malone didn't have a heroin habit.
Say what you will about Post Malone. He's genuinely a good dude.
He is a genuinely good dude. I have no problem with Post Malone. I just have a problem with his auto-tune music version of himself. And then he went country somehow.
So, funnily enough, he started out his music career as a country artist, but his manager at the time pointed him in the direction that he went with hip-hop and whatnot, because at the time, that's what was making the most making the most money out of it. And, I mean, he is talented for what he does. Granted, some of his stuff can be a little repetitive and whatnot, but he is a good dude that deserves everything that he's ever earned.
There are a lot of good dudes out there that have deserved everything good that's ever come to them.
Mm-hmm.
Just not as many of them used auto-tune. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, you can say that about T-Pain.
And I don't want to talk about T-Pain. The only T-Pain song I've ever heard of is I'm on a Boat. And that was from, that's my favorite song of all the T-Pain songs. And I will listen to that every time I hear it. It's not even his song. It's an Andy Samberg or whatever his name is. I can hear it in my head right now.
No, I'm sure I'll try to go through and play it in the background whenever I have that ability to do so.
Oh my
But
God.
that fucking
Yes, it
hilarious song.
is. I always
You know
threaten
what?
my ex that if we ever go on a cruise, I'm blasting that as loud as I can as we're leaving the shore because I do not want to go on a fucking cruise. And she
On
agreed to do it, and then we ended up not going.
the biggest set of speakers that you can bring on board with you that they will allow.
I will, even if I can do it, I would just take a Beats pill and hold it over my head like this and just start swearing, I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. Take a good hard look at the motherfucking. Yeah, that's just me. Because it'd be my not so silent protest that I now have to go away for 3 days to do shit that we don't do when we're at home
Mm-hmm.
and go places I don't feel like going to because you got a ticket package that included alcohol. That is, by the way, less than I can drink in a day and far more expensive for the ticket we just paid for.
Not with that attitude. Not with that attitude.
Sir, I'm going to digress from this conversation because it's still a sore point.
So, I'm with you. Like, I wouldn't mind doing a cruise as an adult, but I have no real drive to do a cruise. Like, there's nothing holding me back from it. But then again, there's nothing that's really pushing me forward either.
The biggest selling point to get me to say yes to a cruise was, well, they have a sports bar. So does 900 places around me that I can drive to in 10 minutes
On
that I
land.
don't go to now. Why am I going to go in a floating asylum with people I don't want to be around to sit there at a sports bar while you go to mani-pedi and a massage in places you don't do when you're here for far less money?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we can gamble. We don't gamble when we're here, and there's places we can go to. I don't give a shit. I'd rather stay at home in the place I pay for.
Yeah.
But no, we can't do that. Oh,
Well, I
but
mean,
we can go shark cage diving. That's not shark cage diving. That's nurse sharks that are underfed around a bunch of people that are probably borderline poverty in a country they're selling shell necklaces because that's the only way they can afford whatever mud hut they live in.
mm-hmm.
I don't want to go and support that shit. Don't tell me it's a Disney cruise either, because I'm not fucking going.
Oh, hard no on that one. I'm not doing a Disney cruise at any point.
No. It's Carnival. There's a
Oh,
carnival of
hell no.
idiots I have to be around. Fuck
Yeah.
no, I'm not going.
Now, if I were to do a cruise, it would probably be like either Royal Caribbean or Norwegian.
The best cruise I could ever pitch to you is this. You, me, whoever we choose to bring out, a 40-foot boat with a cabin in it, and we go out for a few days in the Gulf of Mexico. We bring a bunch of food, we fish, we shoot skeet off the back of it, we listen to music and get drunk, and we're anchored and we're not going anywhere until we sober up and go the fuck back to the port controlled by GPS. There's not a bunch of idiots around us.
We would need a bigger boat than a 40-foot because,
Whatever.
because at least 10 foot of that boat's going to be dedicated towards beer and alcohol by itself.
That's fine. Whatever. We'll get a 60 or 70, 100 foot. I don't care. As
Mm-hmm.
long as I can drive it and I know where we're going and I know how to get back because we have GPS on a boat. Let's just have some fun and not have beer surrounded by 2,500 other people we don't know that we have to pretend to sit there and have an interesting conversation with and then have to meet the captain at the captain's dinner. Like I give a fuck who's driving this boat. Wear a white suit all you want. I don't care. I just don't want to sit there and sit in this tiny ass cabin that I don't want to be in and brown people I don't care about and sit there and talk about what's on TV because this guy next to me is also sitting there stuck watching the fucking Browns game. And I don't even like the Browns, but it's the only channel they have on this boat right now. And I don't give a shit because my wife or my girlfriend is sitting there getting a mani-pedi because she paid for that package. I don't want to be here next to another guy that also doesn't want to be there while his kids are running up and down the aisles causing terror because they don't want to be stuck in the kids area.
So,
Fuck that.
so when it comes to cruises, I promise you, I've had more fun off of John boats with a 24 pack and someone else running the boat than I ever would off of the cruise ship itself.
I've had more fun passed out in a kiddie pool in the backyard than going on a fucking cruise for $2,500 for 3 days. No, thank you.
$2,500. Yeah, okay, so this is probably going to go on the list. You're given, yeah, this is going on the list. So, if given $2,500 for the weekend, What are you doing?
I guarantee it involves Mia Khalifa. That's all I'm saying. No, $2,500 when it gets you hurt.
No. Or the medical attention afterwards.
Yeah, fair enough. If you're going to catch Hep C from someone.
I mean, if you're going to get Hep C, that's the best one to get out of all the Heps.
Yeah, Pamela Anderson's kind of aged out of it now.
Yeah, but she's been around for a while.
She will be around for a while. Well, parts of her will be.
Yeah, parts of her will be. Something about non-biodegradable plastics and such.
And God bless them.
Mm-hmm. Made her entire career.
It certainly augmented it.
Yes, but I think this might just wrap it up for this evening. Ryan, do appreciate it. Once again, you're always great to have on the channel.
Anytime, Bubba.
Yeah, is there anything that you want to shout out, what you're going to be doing, any plans in the works, anything of that nature?
I have nothing I do here except go to work and come home. I have a thought to make Jacksonville State my next team I control at NCAA and see if I can get them 13 straight national titles. And I don't even know who the fuck their mascot is. Just because I want to sit there and just have an obscure team just start slaughtering the rest of the league.
Nice.
Aside from that, I have absolutely nothing else going on, which is why I always am ready and available for you whenever you want to hang out and do one of these. And, I'd say go Cowboys, but that year is long since gone. So I'm just enjoying my time here in peace and not having to root for a team that's still in contention.
So we are getting close to Super Bowl season. When and where is that happening?
I believe it's gonna be in New Orleans in February.
70 stolen vehicles.
So many homeless encampments underneath overpasses. That's all I remember of our time in New Orleans.
Oh yeah, lots of that. Drive-through daiquiri shops though. That was a fun time.
We have one here. I was like, oh, a piece of New Orleans here in Texas.
In Texas? What?
100%.
Like legit drive through in your car, roll down your window, get an alcoholic beverage, and then roll away.
And you can walk in, yes, right next to Sam Houston State.
That's cool.
Never been.
Someone's PTSD from that.
Mm-hmm.
But, all right, bud. Well, I believe we're going to go ahead and call it quits for the evening. Thank you again for your time, being able to record. Yeah, another brief 30-minute recording turned into almost an hour and a half again. But
whenever you want to, I'm always here, brother.
Much appreciated. Thank you again for watching the Intoxication Station. Follow us on all of our social media platforms, and we will see you hopefully soon.